Well, well. If it's not me, the YouTube goat, the guy with all the shine, the guy who does it right. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Lawrence over at Mighty Comics Collectibles, and we are back and we are live. Now, for those of you who don't know how I operate, all my videos just come from a quick idea that just pops in my head and then I just run with it. So today I had the, you know, little idea said, why don't we go live? It's raining here in the east part of New Jersey. There's nothing going on. It's 60 degrees, which is nice, but you can't go outside because of the weather. So I said to myself, let's go live and let's try to ruffle some feathers. Not in a bad way, but let's talk about collecting. Let's talk about comic collecting. Let's talk about all the bullshit that we hate about this hobby, whether it's comic books themselves, whether it's the prices, whether it's the market whether you bought years ago and you're stuck in some of your books, whether it's the stories themselves. Hell, maybe you don't like some of these comic book YouTubers like myself. Maybe you want to call out some of these guys and gals who just come on here and put up their dribble, who talk about nonsense, who don't put effort into their videos. I don't care. It's an open mic day for everyone out there who wants to chat. But there is a warning and there is a caveat. So I'm going to put it on the screen right now and I'm going to read it. It says, warning, any comments spoken here today will forever be ingrained in YouTube and comic book history. It cannot be undone. Choose your words carefully. Not everyone will agree with the statements made, including myself and other panelists, if anybody decides that they're going to show up. Join and speak at your own risk. Okay, folks? If you're going to come on or you want to say something in the chat that you think may ruffle some feathers, I'm all for it. But at the same time, let's complain. Let's get everything out. Let's have a good time. And that is the most important thing. So let me get this out of the way. There you can see my lovely face. What is going on, everyone out there in the comic book and collecting community? I am bored on a Sunday. I definitely sent this stream out to a few folks. We'll see if they hop on, have anything to say. But if you're in the chat or you're just watching on your own and you want to jump on, doesn't have to be anything bad. I've pinned the StreamYard link in the chat. I've also put it in the description of this video if you want to jump on. But like I said before, everything you say can and will be used against you later on at some point. So choose your words very carefully. So I'll say hello to a few people in the chat. And we're going to start off with Mr. Darth Lopez. What's going on, brother? Who else? Jeffrey Fonzo, what's going on? JSS Brooklyn in the house. What is going on? Razor Comics, what is going on? Can everybody see me? Because Razor says there's no video, just audio. So I have no idea, but I'm assuming you can. Danny Z2, the market is tanking and it sucks. Need an upswing. Amazing Murfinator, what is going on? King Khan is in 1 week. I'm hoping I still get to go because I actually have to coach my son's basketball game in the morning, so I may head out early afternoon. Derek Neiman, what is going on? Razor show last night. I'm suing Darth Lopez for calling me a pendejo. Okay. Is Donna D's Nuts going to show up, Jeff? I don't think so. I don't feel like switching costumes today, getting into that. But we'll have some other skits going on soon that I am planning, even though they will be nice and short. MJ Comics, one of my boys. What's going on, brother? Luis Mendoza, what is up? Anybody else? Am I missing anyone else? Indie 2K. I've been away from comics for the last year and a half. I can't believe they're still tanking. Well, why don't we just start with that? All right. Since you just brought it up, comic book prices. First of all, like I said before, anyone want to jump in, please do so. It's open to everybody if you want to get something off your chest, but comic book prices. So I've been saying for the better part of 2 years that comics were kind of fluctuate over the past couple of years. And I do believe that's still the case. You're going to see a lot of things still go down. The best of the best will still go down, but I do think they'll be the first to rebound. So for me, am I annoyed about it? Yeah, I'm actually putting together like a small documentary that's going to be available to members of the channel. So if you're a member, hang on for a few months because I'm putting that together for something that I'm doing. But yeah, the prices right now are still driving collectors out. They're still, I think Instagram is a big problem right now. It's great for people who want to buy books, but if you want to sell books, you know, it's just nobody wants to pay full price, and it's still a huge issue. So to me, while Instagram is great, everybody's just undercutting everybody. If you see, you know, a GPA sale, everybody wants to be under that no matter absolutely what. They are just scratching each other's eyes out to get the best possible deal they can. And there's an abundance of every book out there right now. You can get any book you want. Hell, even golden age books, people that are, you know, books that are scarce, 300 copies, 100 copies. I'm still seeing them show up on auction sites, even on Instagram, left and right. We got Batman 1s, Tech 31s, no action ones or Tech 27s yet, but outside of those two, and maybe a Marvel Comics one and some really scarce things that maybe are niche to certain collectors, everything you could want is in your hands and out there right now if you want it. So comic prices are still dipping, and it's going to be like that for quite a while, especially with the economy is the way it is. Obviously, our president is going to drive down the market a little bit, but that shouldn't be everybody's focus. The market's got to go down at some point. So if you're a technical analyst out there and you follow market trends, you know what I'm talking about. If not, everybody's going to blame you know who. But market's got to go down at sometimes, and it's actually really good for people out there who aren't in the market and want to get into it, because it's going to reset. You're going to be able to get in at a good price and hold on for the long term and make some coin. But again, I'm shocked. We still don't have anybody showing up in the panel that wants to talk about the market, what's wrong with comic collecting. I really thought I'd get some people with a little bit more sack to come on here, say what's on their chest. For me, what's on my chest is that I'm not buying books, right? Outside of like some new releases that I think are really cool that I want to read or check out some covers or something I can get a really great deal on, I'm not buying books. The collecting aspect of it, unless you are addicted and you keep buying and buying and buying, I think the overall market is going to keep heading south. So get that off my chest right now. If you are not looking to sell over the next 20 years, keep buying. You'll be fine. But if you're looking to get out in 5 years, I would suggest taking a little bit of a break from buying. I don't want to hurt anybody out there, but that is what I want to say. As far as collecting itself, it's really fun, but we got some people out there that just keep buying shit and buying shit and buying shit and buying shit, and it doesn't ever stop. And I'd love to hear from them out there. What is your plan to let go of some of your books? What do you want to do? Are you going to hang on to pass and then drop 50,000 comics into the lap of your significant other or maybe your kids? How is that a plan? I'd love to hear what you are going to do, how those people would feel if you did that to them. I don't know. My plan is not to be a jerk today, but to maybe enlighten into what is in my head, how I feel about certain things. And I'm hoping that we get some people to jump on here, man. But everybody seems to be just yapping it up with themselves in the chat. So here we go. Here's a good comment. Most new books are completely worthless and they pretty poorly written. They're not even worth reading. I agree that the majority is 100% like that, but there are some storylines out there right now that people are saying are fantastic, but I agree. You don't buy new books to make money on them. You don't buy new books because you want to flip them for the most part. I think new books, unless you're getting like a hot exclusive that you're at a con that you want to try to resell, it's not really worth it. Okay, I've been saying that for years. I'm a vintage guy. I've always been a vintage guy, but other people collect new books, and I think that's fine. But if you're going out there and you're publishing a book right now, it's for people to read. Let's be honest. It's not for the monetary purpose of owning books. So come on, folks. Who's got the sack to come in here with me today? You could see I'm egging people on because I got the YouTube GOAT under my name and not Mighty Comics and Collectibles, which is just all fun and games. So we do have somebody I see that's heading backstage right now, member of the channel. So before I let him in, I'll address this comment. It's unfortunate that a lot of so-called exclusives selling for ridiculous prices are worthless in the long term, and it's sad. Well, I hate to say this, but a lot of people should realize that before buy these things. I get you're addicted to the art and you love the art. All cool, but know what you're paying for, folks. Really? So Darth Lopez has decided to join me today.
Yeah, my sack is big enough.
There you go. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there. Anything you want to get off your chest with anything collecting? Could be about, I saw your video, I don't know if it was last night or this morning that you put out about other people in the community, about other channels, and tell them talking shit. This is an open mic for anybody who has anything to say. So I'm going to hand it to you. Right, you got something?
Nah, not really. Unless you want to talk about that. But me, where I'm at with collecting books right now, I'm trying to thin out the herd, man. So I'm not really. I've cut back a lot. So I'm about 20, maybe $25 a week. Um, I tried to sell off my whole X-Men run. So from like Uncanny X-Men to now, like I have the whole thing from Giant Size #1 to like Let's Take Krakoa. So I tried to set it off in bulk. Didn't really get any nibbles. So right now, man, I'm just trying. I probably will be going digital, dude. The hobby is too expensive for me. I got addictive personality. I FOMO myself. I like buy 5 reprints of each issue. I'm like really addictive. So I just call me just relaxing on my pool right now. So other than that, man, I mean, all good.
All right. So we have this year text, which is a new member to the to my chat at least. I like the logo because I like that old school Dallas Mavericks logo when they had Jason Kidd and a bunch of other guys. But I see I'm being directed to be respectful, so I should probably refrain. Go for it, brother. This is what we're here for, right? Say everything that you want to say, that you see, that you've been wanting to say.
One thing I do like, because I'll forget because I'm a stoner, and I stayed up late last night, so I'm really foggy. I like the fact, bro, that you were willing to fuck with a 300 subscriber channel. I thought that was badass. I've been around the community for a long time, and that's awesome to see. Like I'm not into subscriber count. I'm not into pocket watching the views and all that. I like who I like. I watch who I watch, and I'm not embarrassed to say being a member for another channel. I'm not embarrassed to like pay homage to guys that have been doing it a long time. You know what I mean? I think the community gets a little fickle. I do believe we're sensitive. I do believe, some of us are some drama whores, but I believe, sometimes our feelings get hurt. And we're in this like ecosystem, dude. Like I was in a bubble for a long time, and then once it branched out, I found all these other YouTube channels, dude, that I did not even know was around for years. I've always thought that's interesting. And the one thing I see, there's little mingling, right? Up until like right now, you know what I mean? It seems that like other channels are starting to blend a little bit. They're starting to get out their bubble, branch out a little bit. That's kind of cool. You know what I mean?
Well, the one thing I want to stop you right here is you said to me, like, it's cool that I kind of, mess with guys who have 300 subs and stuff like that. The one thing I'll say is this, is that, yeah, I'm at 16,000 and change, but that has nothing to do with anything. What I'm going to say is that when I started out, nobody helped me. Nobody,
Right.
you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's a shitty thing, because I'll say it right now. Like, I definitely reached out to a couple of people years ago and say, hey, I'd love to have you on the channel, or I'd love to pick your brain on stuff. And nobody ever responded. Now that could be because they don't follow me, and maybe, I reached out on Instagram and they don't follow me, so they didn't see the message. But I try to pay it forward when I know somebody is trying, whether you agree with what content they're putting out or not. It could be like some of the stuff that you put out where you're firing back at other guys, whatever. But if somebody I know is trying to make good content, like, I will do my best to help them out. And I don't know why my fucking camera keeps going in and out with me. It's refocusing, so I apologize, but nobody helped me out. And I thought that was a little messed up, especially in the community. So I get it.
Yeah.
But the one thing I want to say before we go any further, I will address some of the comic book questions later on, so guys don't disappear. But I want to take all this stuff that we're here for today to kind of air out. I wish that more people in this community, and I don't mean like when I see someone, everybody's respectful, everybody says so. That's not what I mean. I mean, like, I wish people who do content spoke more with each other and helped each other out than what we see right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's too big of a community not to. I think because I've watched a long time from afar, right? And like, it just doesn't happen. It's like there literally is pockets. Like this whole fucking thing I got in my head about the multiverse, that like this group of channels over here, there's like the pre-recorded, and there's like the guys that go live, and there's the guys that do all the CGC, and then there's the flippers, and then there's all kinds of stuff, they mix with the toy and the pop culture. And rarely do they like mix within their own channel, right? So I see rarely the other content creators hook up with each other and get on a live, for example, right? Like, you know, like what if it was you and if we want to just do bigger channels, they would have came on here with you. That'd have been interesting to see. Kind of like what Swaggle House had, right? That was interesting to see. That'd be more of it'd be nice to see more of that, but like with not worried about the subscriber count, not worried about what content does that person do.
I say
Right?
I'm going to stop you right there because I don't think it's about subscriber count. I think it's
No, no,
about
I'm not.
good content. I
Right.
think like I mean I loved going on Swag's channel. I had such a good time those 2 nights. You're just talking about comic books and the market and all that stuff. But I think that, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video today. If you put out good content, eventually someone's going to find you. I do agree that with somebody that said here in the chat that here it is. It's Jeff. He says, I think a lot of content creators view it as a competition. Okay. And I think that's right. And it should be to a certain extent because I think competition, and I know this as a coach, it makes you better. It makes you up your game. I mean, if you go back and look at my videos from like years ago, I'm so much better now than I was before. And that's because of Tom. It's because of, you know, all these guys have been putting out great stuff. And I try to emulate some of the stuff that they do and maybe try to make it my own spin on it. So that's more what I have to say. So I do have a couple of more people. So if anybody wants to jump on, I see one I'm going to add to stage, but when the other one's ready, I don't know if he wants to come on camera, but I'm going to let this one in. What's up, MJ? What's going on, brother?
How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm hanging in there. We have one more backstage, but I don't, I'm going to add him and we'll see if he adds the camera. He might just go quiet though. Ready?
Okay.
So his name is not here. Or is it there? There it is. So I personally invited him today to see if he would show up because I know this gentleman has some great stuff that he talks about on his channel. And I'd love to hear what he has to say. If he could open and air anything that he wants to say, but it's still open to everybody. So I've let it be known, like content creation is something that's great. But I think if you're not consistently doing better, you're hurting yourself in the long run. Anybody want to comment on that or have anything else they want to say?
I'm just here for Darth Lopez.
Woo!
Not really,
Hello,
Daniel.
bitch. Let's go.
Oh, what up, little faggot? Oh, sorry, excuse me. What up?
Whoa.
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 Yeah.
Whoa.
What's up?
As a reminder, everything that's here, like it's going to be portrayed. So just choose your words wisely.
Say it.
I want to see your stuff, dude. I want to see that camera.
No, I showed my face yesterday.
No, I want to see your face
Oh,
today, dude.
Hit the subscribe button. What's up?
Show your face, dude. Coward.
Oh, no, I don't want to. Make me.
I know you have showed your face before. I saw a video with you in it.
See that big bald head.
You like it?
Yours too, Clarence.
I was going to say, so 3 of us on here are bald, by the way. So nobody should be making fun of bald people.
I miss you, Dad. I miss you.
So air it out. Don't just go at each other. Somebody start. You want to start, MJ?
With what? I was coming on to talk about how so you know about the whole thing about seeing it as competition with other creators. I'll happily help out anybody who reaches out. Like Daniel, I helped you out with thumbnails and stuff, didn't I?
Oh yeah, man, you're awesome.
Yeah.
You're the cornerstone of the community.
I don't know if he's big. I don't know if
there's no way he's being honest on that one, but I get what he means.
Anchor being.
Yes, that's a good one. I like that. But let me ask you guys a question. Since I have the 3 of you, do you see it as a competition? Do you see other people's like content and be like, "Fuck, I wish I was doing better," or like, "I'm jealous of that person"?
No, I don't.
No, I'm never jealous. I'm always like, wish that my stuff would do better, but I'm never jealous of anybody.
Goose?
It's absolutely a competition.
It is a competition. I think it's a competition, but like I said before, it's beneficial to everybody out there to compete with one another. Especially, it depends what you want to get out of it. For me, and I'll be honest with you, I'm looking to do something else. Like I like comics, I like collecting, but I think I'm pretty good at what I do, and I learn pretty quickly. So I want to take this to a different level and see if I could possibly do it. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but I'd love that. And I think Goose, you're probably along the same line, just looking at some of your videos, right? Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a competition because there's only so much time that anybody can spend watching this bullshit. So like, you need to come correct, and you need to have the best shit.
You two have a comment on that about, do you agree with that? Did you do you purposely like try to get better?
I say
His whole channel is about me. He never gets better. He does everything about me. His whole fucking channel.
Yeah, it's an honor, bro. Should be happy.
Sorry.
How does hold on? How does it feel though? How does it feel to get trolled though? So you thought you were funny and you thought you could take those shots at people.
Dude, I'm the funniest member of the community.
But when it was turned on you, you don't like it? Huh? Coward.
You built your whole channel on my back along with that piece of shit Razor. Your whole fucking channel. Check your top.
Yes, I did.
Check your top videos, dude.
Okay, you said that thousands of times, bro. It's payback for the roast. How about that? You thought you were funny.
Payback for the roast.
You thought calling Biggie retarded.
You're mad that you're not included because you're nobody.
Thought calling Biggie retarded. You thought you'd get away with that?
Because you're nobody like all your little fucking friends are. You're nobody, bro.
Go back in hiding. You don't even deserve to be part of this community.
Oh, gatekeeper.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Let's screen cap that, Lawrence. I mean, Clarence.
Yeah. See, you're not made for this, bro. You don't see. Stop trying to be something you're not. You ain't ready.
Talking about. You don't know anything about me. You're a fucking criminal. You showed knives and threatened my family. You piece of shit. You deserve to be in prison, you little bitch.
Stop it. I did not threaten your family.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it right there. Calm down a bit. Let's go into timeout for a minute, both of you, before we turn this into something that's outrageous. But MJ, what's going on, my friend?
Nothing much. I was just coming on to I didn't know this was gonna happen. I was just coming on to support you, buddy.
It's all right. This is what this thumbnail that I put up is exactly what we're getting right now. I'm not gonna lie. This is exactly what not what I wanted. I don't want to see them go at it. I would like them to kind of make this like a peace offering, but I think airing of grievances without calling each other names is a good thing. But I'm gonna say the two of you guys refrain from going at each other with name calling. You want to argue, that's fine, 100%. Just don't call each other names, right? Like, we don't want to do that here. But if you have something to say about comic books, collecting comic content on YouTube, I'm going to unmute you guys right now. But again, refrain from calling each other names. And I got one other guy who's going to jump in here that was also named, and I'm going to tell him same thing. Don't come on here calling people names because that's not the forum for this. All right, so these guys have been unmuted, and I'll add our fifth friend here.
Put him up.
Put him up.
God, you barely fit on the screen. Jesus.
No name.
Boy, that escalated quickly, bro. 0 to 60.
You barely fit on the screen,
Real quick.
Fat
So
fuck.
again, I know he doesn't
Christ.
care about that comment, but let's refrain from calling each other names.
Yeah,
and call me.
This guy he's the biggest joke in the comic book community. Here's the tough guy that won't allow comments on his video. He comes back, right?
You
troll videos, but he's so big and bad. Like, he's calling me a bitch, but yet he won't let anybody comment on his videos. That's that's the definition of a pussy right there. I'm gonna make a video, but you guys can't give me any critique or tell me anything about it, because you guys are making fun of me.
Who snitched on
you guys are
Sticky
coming
Goose?
after me.
Who snitched on Sticky Goose? I built the whole channel on Sticky Goose's back. That's what you did.
How does it feel though?
You're a dick rider. That's what.
How does it feel?
Okay, no more.
Okay, I'm not cursing. I'm not cursing.
I don't care about the cursing. Just stop calling each other names. Yeah, this is awkward, MJ. I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't want to get sued by Sticky Goose. He'll send me a text message at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, I'm just trying to get my garage.
I'm gonna sue you, bro. Don't drop a video about me, or I'll sue you. That's a pussy shit. My garage door. Huh?
So I heard something about a garage door because it's funny you said that because I had the same issue today with my garage door that it came off the thing.
The guy to call for that.
He's a dentist, but he doesn't want you to know that he's a dentist. I work at a garage door company. So if you need help, yeah, you've told everybody that plenty of times, dumbass.
Yeah, you told me.
You're the one who told everybody you work at Big Smiles, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, you work at.
All right, I've muted everybody except MJ. Guys, if we're just gonna go at each other here, that's not what this is about. The video is about what we don't like about the collecting. So if you want to do that, great. If you want to just yell at each other the whole time, we could do that. You could do that on your own channel. You don't have to be respectful. Just don't call each other names.
I've got a question.
Go for it, brother.
Daniel, do you still collect comic books or do you hate them now?
What are we even doing, dude? Like, what is the point of this video?
The video is that I want to hear people air it out.
You invited people on to start shit. You want this to happen on your channel. You want the views. Don't you're better than this.
So stop. No, I'm not better than this, but I will say I'll never get views on a live stream. I'll never get views on a live stream.
Well, you're gonna clip this, flip it, and reverse it like Missy Misdemeanor. And
I guarantee I won't. I'll bet you that one. That I won't clip it.
Oh yeah, right. Fat ass down there in the bottom, he'll clip it. He'll spend all night doing this.
That he probably will clip. He will clip it. I will not clip it. But
nothing. He has nothing. Other than me, he has nothing.
He puts out some comic book videos. He's done that. I've seen
40 views.
Well, hold on. So stop right there, because that's a question I want to ask everybody who's here. Do view count matter to you? Because I think a problem with a lot of the content creation on comic books is a lot of people don't care about the views. I'm the opposite. I do care. I get pissed off. And I know MJ does too, because me and him have had this conversation that when you put a hell of a lot of work into a video and nobody fucking watches it.
Here's what's happening. And I will love to speak on this conversation here. Let me ask you guys a question. Well, Lawrence and MJ, because, Sticky's, who knows what he's doing. But do you guys pay to promote your videos?
So I promoted two videos on mine. Yes, 100%. But then I also had a video that blew up about Masters of the Universe that I did not promote. So
here's a little secret that was not shared with me as a young, handsome content creator.
You
can promote yourself. 46, but close. I'm getting there. Thank you. Here's what you can do.
Security.
Right. Good one. So here's what you can do. If you go to your content page, you can actually click on the promotion section. There's a section far right. It says promotion. And I guarantee you, Sticky and a lot of people are doing this. It's being done. What you can do is you can promote yourself by clicking on the promotions tab. And what happens is it'll give you a breakdown. It'll ask you, okay, what is your goal? Do you want to grow your channel by sub count? Do you want to grow your channel by views on certain videos? So here's what a lot of content creators are doing. What they'll do is they'll pay to promote themselves. It's only like $100 or $200, right? And what
you could choose whatever amount that you want.
Yeah, you can actually choose the amount, right, Lawrence? And what it does, it goes after target audiences that they know are going to subscribe you out. What it is like going to the grocery store, right? So you're shopping at the grocery store. You're paying to have your product put on an end cap of the grocery store. So when you're shopping, you pass by an end cap. You're like, oh, look at those cookies. I've never seen those before. Those must be new. They're not. Those cookies been out forever. They're paying for placement. And that's what a lot of content creators do. They pay to have placement. So what you're seeing is a lot of YouTubers are putting out their videos, which makes sense, right? Because now they're growing their channel. They put money back into the campaign. And that's what you're seeing. I don't do that. So when my subscribers watch, they're the true subscribers that watch my videos. I'm looking about doing that because I see that it's very helpful and it gets you to that next level and it makes that level playing field even.
Well, here's the thing. The one thing I want to say about that is it gives you subscribers, but it does not. It gives you views for the video you choose to promote. But at the end of the day, if you're not putting consistent content out that somebody wants to watch, it doesn't matter. I've noticed that from promoting to the two videos that I promoted, it does not matter after the fact. So it doesn't really help. It helps for the view counts as people see your channel. But after that, you need to make content unless you fucking promote in every video, which would be ridiculous in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I've used it for promotional work with the auction company that I'm doing with. But it's only like $10 I put on it, not a lot.
Yeah, you could choose whatever money that you wanna put on there. It's a good thing because YouTube doesn't put your shit out to everybody, right? Like it takes this algorithm and pushes out to people who they think may want to watch your channel. But let's say there's somebody else who maybe is just getting into comics, they know nothing about YouTube, and they turn the thing on. They're not going to suggest you unless you do something. So that's why I think it's beneficial to kind of do something like that once in a blue moon, not all the time though. Because then if you do it all the time, it's going to completely shut down your channel to where nobody watches it because it doesn't know who to promote it to after that.
And I appreciate that, man. People like you, MJ, that actually synthetic panels that are willing to give feedback and actually help out smaller channels grow. So, like, people never told me things like this when I started my channel. Like, I never even knew that was a tab on the fucking YouTube page. So, thanks for sharing that with me, because I was looking into maybe I should put some money, $100 down on my video, and I'll get 1,000 subs instantly. You know what I mean? So that's good looking out. It grows you short term, but you still got to put out good content, or it's not going to help you.
Yeah, I only learnt about that from speaking with Lawrence when I did the interview with him a couple of months ago.
Let me ask you a question. All of you guys that are here, what kind of content do you watch? Like when you go to YouTube, what is the content you watch? Do you go to like live streams like this where people are just talking? Or do you watch something like the shit like that I put out where it's like it's a pre-taped video where there's whatever? Or even Sticky where he puts out video, like everything's filmed, it's not alive, it's thought out.
I watch both, and some market. A lot of the top 10s, like your videos, Sticky's videos, some of the live I watch. I like the digging books. The digging videos. Those are the ones. Yeah. No, not hauls. Actually, like
Mike from Lunch Money Comics, like his stuff where he goes to cons and he's digging through books and stuff. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Those are hard videos to do unless you're constantly going to shows like that.
That's what I want to do, but I want to do it in shops.
It's hard.
Record it, edit it, show Chicago and stuff like that.
Razor, what do you watch?
I'm nerding out, man. Like I'm doing a show later on where it's all YouTube haulers. I watch haul videos. I like guys that show their books off, that talk about their books, and they go on these dollar bin dives, or they go out to their local comic book shop and they're showing me issues of comic books I've never seen before. They're passionate about what they're collecting. Some of them are new to the hobby, like myself. So we kind of share ideas, and I pick up a lot of, who's this artist, who's this cover, people that I didn't know about by watching haul videos. So I'm a guy that enjoys, if you put together a GPK video like Lawrence does himself, where he shows off his cards, or you're showing off your comic books, let me know. I love watching those. I do a Sunday show where I invite people on to show their books off, and we can kind of just share. Because I think nerding out about comics is basically what brings us all together, regardless if we disagree with Sticky Goose or with MJ. And I'll disagree with MJ and then Lawrence and even fucking Sticky. But at the end of the day, what brings us together is comic books. So I enjoy watching those haul videos.
Yeah. MJ, what do you? Oh, hold on, I have you fucking muted for some reason. No, you have yourself muted.
I'm muting myself because my kids are in the background.
Oh, okay. What do you watch?
I watch a bit of everything. So I like pre-records. I like listening on lives. I don't, unless there's something to physically show in a live, I'll just listen, if I'm being honest. And I like to have a little bit of interaction with the chat. But like some of my favorite channels at the moment, like Beyond Wednesdays, I love listening to them on a Sunday morning, like having my morning coffee and breakfast and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it at the moment. Obviously, I watch Gem Mint a lot, so like his live streams pretty much every weekday. And I'll try and watch everyone's content, to be fair.
I like the pre-record.
Jeffrey Fonzo, I'm gonna check you out, man. Planet Arizona, shout out. I'm a State 48 guy, brother, so I'm definitely gonna pull you up.
Yeah, I'm gonna highlight some comments as you guys are talking. For me, like, I don't know. I've been watching comic book YouTube for a while, and I like to hear what Sticky has to say, what he watches, because I'm interested to see what kind of content he watches. Obviously, I know he watches me because I know he's used some of my clips and stuff like that. Maybe not all the time, but I really don't like watching live streams unless they're talking about something that I have interest in. Like I like Beyond Wednesdays, but at the same time, if it's talking a lot of new stuff, a lot of industry stuff, some of the stuff I really don't have an interest in. I like the show, but I can't, unless they're like talking about something like that I have real interest in, I can't watch it for too long. I like MJ's interviews when he does that stuff, but I like the content that I put out only because that's what I like to watch. That's why I make the content that I watch. So Goose, any comment on what you want to watch, what you normally watch?
I don't watch comic book content. I watch like survival shit and like Outdoor Boys and stuff that's not about comic books.
I got you. No, it's all cool. Is there anybody content out there that you can't stand? And you don't have to call that a name. I'm just saying like the type of content that you just fucking automatically turn it off.
Pause.
Sticker people.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Daniel.
He said it. Anybody else?
Sticker people. I don't even know what that is, dude. But I don't like haul videos, man. They're boring. I've gravitated more towards the pre-records. I like the way you, Daniel, and others do the editing. It's more fun. I'm more comfortable that way. And I like the art. I like the art of talking smack. Like if we could talk smack and not cross the line, it'd be perfect. Because I think some of us really want to do that. And if you just come out and do it, then just come out and do it. Get off the fence, But hey, to each your own.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I click on all the fucking drama shit because I want to see what you guys are gonna do next. Like, how far are you gonna take it? Even Goose, man, like he's put together some really great videos. It's like it's must see TV. You have to watch it. So kudos to you, brother. I don't agree with everything you say.
I fell off, dude. I'm a gatekeeper, narcissistic piece of shit. I fell off.
You went in your own way.
Doesn't mean you can't make good videos.
Hold on, let me
exactly.
Let me be respectful. In your own way, you went too far, Daniel.
Oh, you went too far, man. You went too far.
See, you don't have a conversation as a grown man.
You don't know anything about me, dude.
Okay, brother. Okay,
I study you. I watch you every
You guys
day.
See what I mean? I tried to.
Okay, go ahead. When I sleep.
Get it out. So good.
But why do you let it bother you? That's my next question. Why do you let it bother you?
Because he threatened my fucking family.
No, I did not.
No,
he said he held up a fucking switchblade and said, "Oh, this is to cut the goose, to cut the goose's children." That's what he said.
I did not say that.
Then that fat fuck in the bottom left down there showed where I worked. He showed my business name.
Refrain from the name calling.
Daniel.
Dude, it kicked me off, Lawrence. Dude, if you don't want this, you shouldn't have done this.
Let's talk, speak. Because I did not threaten your family, Daniel. I would never do.
You did.
Daniel,
you said I got a Glock. You said I have a Glock. You're a criminal.
Why are you trolling? I never trolled you until you blocked.
I never trolled you. Okay.
Well, I did.
How many accounts do you have, George W. Bush? How many accounts?
Dude. I didn't get that reference, the George W. Bush reference.
He has so many accounts. He's built up his entire subscriber count with fake fucking accounts. It's pathetic.
Okay, Daniel. You couldn't just take your ass whooping? It hurt, huh? Somebody like me.
Ass whooping from
but both. Hold on. I'm gonna mic. I'm muting both of you for a second. So, why do each one of you guys care? I understand what Sicky said. He said he went after his family, but like, why keep going? Why not just let it go? So first of all, I'm going to unmute Lopez first and tell me why keep going. Okay. Tell me.
Until he apologizes to the sticker people and apologize for calling Immoral Biggie Shaq retarded.
But hold on. But why do you feel the need to jump in and do it? Why don't you let them handle it?
He crossed the line. He put that energy out and it changed his community with all that nonsense. He went a little bit too far. He hit innuendos. He used classism, I mean, it was just pitiful. It ought to get what? To get attention? All because you wanted to be the bad guy, knowing damn well that's probably not who you are as a man. Cut the crap, bro.
Okay, so let me stop you right there and just say that's 100% what he wanted. Like that's the whole point of coming on YouTube though. Like some of these guys, they come on, they talk about comic books, they talk about the industry, they talk about prices like I do all the time. But when that gets stale and you're trying to get views, people take it to another level. Like look at myself with the comic book community news. Now, with that said, I'm going to mute Lopez now. I'm going to go to Sticky and give you the thing. Why not just let it go?
Dude, there you go. Biggest video.
That's the video I promoted, by the way.
Yeah, it's your biggest video. It's about me.
My biggest video is 61,000 about Masters of the Universe movie. And then 2 GPK videos, which are 40-something thousand each.
Which
I think it's like 4. It's number 4. But again, tell me, like, why keep going with this?
With what part?
With the whole like letting it affect you and like all that stuff.
It doesn't affect me. I came on here to talk shit to these two guys because I knew they'd be here.
You turn the comments off on your videos. How does it not affect you?
What the fuck are you talking about, dude? I don't want to hear anything from these pieces of shit. I don't want to see their shit. I don't want to read their trash. They're scumbags.
So you can't handle the feedback.
So I muted him there because I didn't want that. I don't think you need to call people names here on the channel. So I apologize to both of you.
I'm just asking a legit question. Like, I mean, you obviously shut the comments off. I mean, that's why. Like that shows he can't handle the criticism.
Now Razor's being very
take a big
calm and cool. He's being calm and cool. So that's all right. It's legal.
He's on drugs. He's a criminal.
It's just all right. Stop calling people criminal. He's not a criminal. As far as I know, I don't know.
I'm so pissed off right now. You know why I'm so pissed off?
Why?
I literally just dropped my tray of my fucking crushed up weed. So I'm not high anymore of drugs because I'm literally sober. I just dropped my tray, bro. I'm pissed off, man. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. My bad.
So I'm going to ask both of you. Are we ever going to let this go and get back to just content, or are we just going to keep going? I just want to know for my own thing.
Who are you asking, me or him?
All of you. I mean, I'll ask. I mean, the two of you are the two of you going at it. Razor's jumping in here and there to kind of give his thing. But like, are you ever just going to let it go?
How about this? I could see that it's affected him more than it should have. I wanted to troll him the way he trolled others. So,
by threatening violence? When did I ever do that?
Daniel, I would never.
When did I ever do that?
Brother, I would never do that. It was a joke. Like skin
it was a joke.
No.
It was a funny.
But it was okay. But
here's a knife. Ha 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 ha.
It's okay, brother. Okay, fine. How about
okay.
I'll take my victory, and I'll leave you alone because you came on here, and you are the trash person that I knew you were. Okay, you cannot have a little conversation man to man. I can let it go. I can let it go right now, and we never ever have to talk to each other again. I'll never mention you if you want to speak like a grown man. If you don't,
you live in garbage.
Okay.
All right. All right. So I'm going to cut off this segment here about you two going at one another. And we're going to get back to comic book market, what's wrong with collecting. Content itself is fine to talk about, but I don't want to hear you guys go at each other anymore. I thought we could talk in peace and kind of get through stuff, but obviously we cannot, which is fine. So I'm going to unmute everybody. And if anybody wants to keep going, I'm just going to boot you out. That's all. But thank you all for showing up. I did want to rile some feathers.
Appreciate you having me on. Take care, buddy.
Have a good one. All right. So he jumped off. Oh, this looks nice with 4. I never knew 4. It looks good. The screen. So while I got the 4 of you guys here, I'm going to address some of the comic book and community questions we have in the chat. You guys up for that?
Sure.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody's unmute, right? MJ, you're unmute unless you muted yourself. All right. So Indy says he's not buying books unless it's really something he wants and loves. I would love to complete a Silver Surfer Volume 1 thing. Are the 3 of you guys buying anything right now, or is there something that you're after while we're here?
I'm probably a few months away from 181, and then I'll probably give me a low grade 129, and that'd be it. I have all my keys, all the books I really truly wanted, that I gotta have, and after that I'll see what I want to read, because I think I need to have floppies. I do love going to the shop every Wednesday, every other Wednesday, bagging and boarding. I don't want to lose that feeling, right? But I think the majority of what I'm going to read, I'm probably going to do digital.
Razor.
You know what? Can we hear MJ first?
Yeah, MJ, go.
Okay. You all right, man? You good?
Yeah. I was just, to be honest, I'm a bit taken back for this whole situation because I was not expecting this at all. So,
I told you to expect the unexpected today. You didn't know who's going to come on.
Names, MJ.
I had a feeling. That's why I came on. I had a feeling. It's just you could smell it in the air, but that's okay. But MJ, you're a good guy, brother.
Well, so back to the books. Anything you're looking for? It doesn't even have to be books. I know you got some video games that you recently got. Anything on the horizon?
So I've got to do a video, but I've literally just got like my video game grail. Like I've got a complete in-box copy of a game that is like the best game in the world to me. So I'm really happy to get it. It's from like 1993 or 4.
Nice. The best year. Lawrence says the 80s are the peak of civilization. I say nay.
It is.
It's the 90s.
It's the 90s.
We're the same age practically. How could you say the 80s were not the best? They were the fucking best, bro.
Absolutely. I'm 48.
Oh. I put my
so the 3 of us.
Yeah, dude. That's why I like your content, because I love Garbage Pail Kids. I could tell when somebody's in my age group because the content is like damn near specific to like how I was when back in those days. That was elementary. That was prime toys, bro. That was prime newsstands. That you know, I used to put the book. I used to play with my GI Joes. Dude, I used to get my GI Joes because some of the Marvel figures I couldn't have, and I used to pretend that my GI Joes were Marvel figures.
So that's the thing. Razor's saying it's 90s, and MJ might say it's 90s because he probably grew up in the 90s as well, right?
Yeah.
So,
I was
but like,
born late 80s, so.
So if you grew up in the 80s, you had Nintendo Entertainment System,
Yeah.
you had Garbage Pail Kids, you had Transformers, you had Master Universe, you had Thundercats, you had all these great things to keep kids going. In the 90s, what did we have? We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The show was in the early 90s.
Which is huge, by the way. Let's not overlook.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not. Batman the Animated Series is another one. As you know, I remember from the 90s. What else from the 90s?
X-Men animated series.
Okay.
Biker Mice from Mars. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep it going.
Street Sharks.
Street Sharks. Which ones did I just name? I don't want to.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, I always want to do that. Yeah, California.
Saved by the Bell had a run that was
it California Love?
Unmatched.
It did. For me though, like I don't know, like 80s topped that because I guess all the stuff I whatever, but everybody's different. I'm not saying you're wrong. 100. It's when you grew up and what. But for me, the 80s was the height of everything.
Yeah.
No, we're right. You're wrong, words. Before we continue on, I just want to take a quick minute because I know everything got kind of heated for a second, and I didn't mean to interrupt MJ's his answer. But I just want to thank Lawrence for Mighty Comics and Collectibles. I wanted to jump on earlier before everything got all crazy, but I was making me a cheeseburger. I haven't ate yet, so I wanted just to thank you, brother. Mighty is one of these guys, Lawrence, who actually does reach out, like MJ, like Synthetic Panels, who's in the chat, who will actually reach out, and he is one of the individuals that has reached out. And, you know, say, hey, man, you need anything? So I appreciate it. He sent me this AOK package in the mail because I enjoy Garbage Pail Kids. I watch his videos. He knows that. So from one collector to another, I really appreciate you taking time out of your day for a small channel like me to reach out, to jump on my show, to help me out, and to send me an AOK package full of Garbage Pail Kid cards that I'm sitting here sleeving up today, man. It's amazing. The community is real. I want to thank you again, sir. Thank you.
So we have another guest backstage that I have to let in because he is probably one of the comic book YouTubers that I watch the most. So everybody please be on their best behavior. Okay.
Sure.
What's up?
What's up?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Thanks for joining me, my friend. How are you?
Yeah. Good. I came in to muck it up.
Oh, did you see the beginning of this video or no?
Well, you know, it's funny. I was just doing chores around the house, and like I saw you post that you were going to stream. I was like, oh, cool. I'll check out Lawrence's stream or whatever. And then at the beginning, when I was cleaning, like nobody was on, and I was like, oh, like let me like finish vacuuming, and I'll jump on. And then as soon as I set the camera, I was like, oh, this got real serious all of a sudden. So I was just kind of
very serious,
real serious, yeah.
And I kind of knew what I was doing, but at the same time, I did not think it was going to go that bad. But that's my fault. I figured Darth Razor may jump on, but I wasn't sure that it was going to go where it needs. And I know Daniel said I gave him the link ahead of time, said, hey, if you want to come on and just talk about what bothers you, go for it. But then it got too personal. So shut it down. But let me ask you, since, whoa, what the fuck just happened on my screen here? I don't know, but does it look normal?
All
right. All right. So let me ask you guys a question. I'll start with Mickey. Somebody posed a question about what happens if Gunn doesn't succeed with the DCU? Do you think that may happen? I actually think it might happen.
I said on my channel, if Superman doesn't make 800 million or more, I think it's very unlikely that his universe continues. Not to say that they'll never do like DC superhero movies, just like him being the like, you know, leading the reins and them making like Booster Gold, you know, spin-off TV shows and all these things. Like at a certain point, you know, Warner Bros. They have to be profitable with this stuff. They can't like make all this content endlessly. So yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure on Superman. That's for sure.
100%. Anybody else?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think if it flops, it's over. Right? If it flops, it's that you could put a nail in the coffin on DC as I'm really developing more movies in the future. I think Superman is key. So that's a big one because if that doesn't make it, then I don't know what they could do next.
And I would just say his version. Like they'll make Superman and Batman eventually again. It's just, but like his plans. for sure are tied to that.
My thing is that, you're starting, I don't want to say with, a lot of the modern people who, not collectors themselves, but people who watch movies, we haven't gotten a good Superman movie since the late 1970s, early 1980s. Say what you will about Snyder's Superman movie. It was okay, but they changed the character so much that it didn't feel like a Superman movie. So I think that a lot of the people going to watch these movies right now, they're not going to be too interested in watching a Superman movie. Batman, I think, is a little bit of a different story. I think the Pattinson Batman, I think that was a fantastic movie, whether you like that style of Batman or not. I think it's always going to have a draw. The style of Batman that James Gunn is going after right now with his Brave and the Bold is going to be totally different. And I think it's going to turn off a lot of Batman fans who only grew up seeing that type of Batman and not exactly, comic enthusiasts.
I might be the only one disagreeing. I think that the movie is actually going to do really well. I think what's going to happen is you're going to see a lot of people that a lot of reviews come out that are not positive, a lot of negative reviews that are already kind of happening now, but we haven't seen the video of the movie. So once the movie comes out, I think you're going to see the reviews not so great, but what's going to happen is that the movie itself is going to make a lot of money. It's going to be a huge blockbuster success, and that's what's going to drive. It's always the money, not necessarily what we think as comic collectors. And I think it's going to be a huge box office success just based off that.
I hope so. I definitely hope so. Yeah.
So I have to apologize. I don't know what's happening with my screen, but it's like I can only see like one portion of the thing. But as long as you guys can see me, but I can't access the chat.
You're good, man.
I'm on the screen.
Live. Tricky bitch, bro. I'll tell you what.
I don't know what the fuck just happened.
I don't have to hang out the whole time, Lawrence. I was just going to come on and throw in one topic to your kind of market conversation part, which was, my YouTube beef is with guys like you, Lawrence. You're not getting enough views.
I agree.
Market reports, and your message is not out there, because the beef I have is that, you go around to like comic shows and you talk to like, I'm not going to name any people, like dealers and stuff, or you like read Reddit or you see Facebook groups, and man, like it's shocking to me that there are still people that say like, hey guys, like prices seem to be going down. It's like, this has been going down for like 2 years. Like, where have you guys been? Like, clearly you have not been watching, some of the people on YouTube talking about this stuff. And so I think it's interesting. It's like either that is an indication that there's constantly new people coming in and they're still just learning, which is totally a great thing. Or, as far as the YouTube space is concerned, there's a lot more people that a lot more growth could still be there. There's a lot of people in collecting that don't tune into YouTube, and they might benefit by checking out all your guys' channels on this panel.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But let me ask you a question while I have you here, and I think it'll benefit these three guys as well. You're one of the bigger creators on comic book content. Is there any type of advice that you give, whether when you put out a video, whether it's an upload strategy, whether it's, content in itself, that you could bless us with knowledge-wise? Because you get a lot of views. You got a lot of views.
Campaign, putting money behind it.
I actually have never done that. And I didn't realize that you could, like it literally until just now. So that's something that I learned today from you guys, actually.
Sorry, Mickey, can I point out why I think you're so successful on YouTube?
Sure.
I think it's because you are always one of the first out there to deliver whatever exciting news or what's currently going on in the comic book community.
You are usually first when it comes to that, 100%.
Right.
That's definitely a part of it. Like there is like kind of a being on top of, whatever the stories are that helps with YouTube. But I don't know. I think my advice would just be, I think consistency is the most important thing. Like you just got to keep doing it. And really like some of the stuff you guys were talking about where it's a competition, like, yes, kind of, but at the same time, it's really more of a competition with yourself. Like you have to just constantly get better than how you were yesterday. That's really how I think of it. Like, I don't think about like, other people make videos on this stuff. It's like, or it's like, I'm competing with you guys. Like to me, it's like comic market is so niche. I think it actually could be bigger. Like, I think you could actually grow it bigger. But you know, whether that's cope or not, that's just the way I think about it for myself. But yeah, consistency is super key, and discipline, because like there's days where it's like, you know, I don't feel like making a video, but like I do it anyways, you know. And I think making sure that, you know, I always try to think about it too, like provide value for people. Like I think that that's the best way to do it is you know, it's one thing to kind of like what you were saying, Razor. Like I like the content too, where people talk about their books, but I'm always trying to think about like, okay, instead of it just being me like doing my own personal unboxing, like what's going to make it more valuable for the other people. So with it needs to come some explanation of whatever the story, or like, hey, you know, I bought this thing, but really the interesting part of that was the negotiation I had with the dealer. And let me talk about negotiation, you know? So it's like, it's something that maybe someone who doesn't care about what you're showing would still gain value from it. So those are the things: consistency and making sure like the viewer.
I think
value.
that's so important. Like I think along the same way sometimes if I go through something, so maybe someone else would want to see how I do it or what goes through my mind. And you're one of the better people at doing that because you do a variety of stuff. You know, when you're walking and just talking at a con or wherever you are, I find that to be most interesting because you're just sharing your feelings about what you're thinking about whatever you're talking about. To me, that's almost the most insight that you're ever going to get in this hobby is just listening to someone speak for a little bit. But I asked these guys a question before, is there any type of content that you specifically like? Certain people like Razor likes hauls, Darth likes, you know, flipping through the boxes, you know, MJ, I don't think he answered that, but
he did it. He was still decompressing at that time.
Yeah, well, most of what I watch is not comic book related, but of the comic book stuff that I do watch, I like understanding like what's happening in the culture. So if you have like a news thing, or if, you know, if MJ has an interview that's somewhat relevant to like what's kind of going on, or, you know, Razor or Darth, if you guys made videos that was about current kind of cultural things, whether that be in the community or it be about a book that came out, I like knowing about that stuff. Like you guys mentioned Beyond Wednesdays, like Brian does a good job talking about like, oh, here's this comic that came out and this is what's happening. So I like watching that stuff. I'm not a huge fan of watching the like hour-long digging at the con video. Like I that stuff's very popular, but that stuff's boring to me personally. But yeah, those are the stuff I like.
all right, very cool. I'm the same way. Like I want to hear about stuff that's going on, somebody else's opinion on something. I like hearing. As far as like when I first got back into the hobby, that's what I would watch haul videos. I would watch digging through boxes. So you guys being relatively new, I could see you starting out towards that, and then maybe later on you go into other things. I just think that's a natural progression.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
good
for
stuff.
sure.
And I want to just compliment Swaggle House because you Lawrence, you hit on a couple of points there that Swaggle House does those videos. I seen him at the comic. I don't know the name of the fucking con that he was at, where it was like a grouping of pro comic people or whatever, and he was walking through the convention room, and people were just kind of like looking at him, but didn't mess with the guy because he does it so smooth, man. Like he's so smooth at those videos. He makes it look so easy. And guys, it's not easy. You have to have confidence in yourself to put that camera out there with your selfie stick and walk around and talk to yourself while you're looking at your phone. You know, people are making fun of you in the background. So it does take a certain level, and to pull off the charisma, the personality to make it look smooth. You do a great job, and kudos to you, sir.
Oh, thanks for saying that. But it's pretty cringy when you're doing it. Like it feels really embarrassing. But I just remember, I think people want to see it. I think just do it. It's fine. Get over it. And that's what. Does
anyone ever like shout to you while you're doing, "Hey, Mickey," or like whatever, like screw up the shot?
Yeah, I've had people do that, but you just go with it. The other tip is like I just say, just keep talking. Just keep talking. Yeah. You know, just don't get in your head. You know.
Yeah.
So I find it hard.
Guys, I'll mess up his video next time.
Yeah, I find it hard to do that type of video because I always speak very fast. So sometimes my words aren't pronounced right. Then I got to go back and cut out. And it doesn't look right. So you do it perfectly where it looks like it's all one shot, nice and easy.
Yeah. How did you like doing kind of like media-ish style at Elite's show?
I loved it. That's what I think I'm good at. I enjoy doing stuff like that, like going around and interviewing, especially when I talked to Travis from Landry Pop. We had a great conversation about, selling books and what he's got coming up and what it feels like to be in that moment of finding a book like that. I think that's what people would want to watch because that's something I'm interested in. So I may be wrong, but what did you guys think? Is that something that you enjoyed, or you're like, that's not your thing?
I enjoy it because you're good at it. Like I can only watch certain people, and they're not really good at doing the interviews at the cons. You have a certain way where people are actually gravitated towards you and want to talk to you, where other people just kind of force, like they're sticking the camera and the microphone. It comes up as real smooth and real conversational. So that's why I enjoy watching your content when you're doing the interviews at the con. I think that's how you approach it. You prepare and you just make it real personable. So I enjoy how you approach it.
I thank you, but I don't think I have the like if you look at Mickey, he does the same thing when he goes to like some of the comic shows that he went to San Diego, talk with a lot of dealers. I think when you have a lot of respect in the community like he does, it makes it a little easier. More people want to talk to you. Or I think I'm still in a place where nobody knows who the hell I am when I show up to these things outside of like I know Ali from Elite. That's why he kind of let me go around and do whatever. But I think the more you put out stuff where people are like, all right, like I get where this guy is coming from. He has a little bit of knowledge, whatever. That's when they're more open to talk to you. What do you think?
Can I say something about that, Lawrence? I
Yeah,
think that
go ahead.
that's a better place to be in, because now when I do it, I can tell that the dealers are a little bit like, ooh, like I got to be really specific with what I say here, because now now they're thinking people are going to hear them, and so I'm having a harder time getting what I feel like is good, answers from them. At least the last couple of times I've done it. And
you
so
haven't done one of those in a while.
MJ needs some tricks with talking to people.
Nice.
Getting them to open up.
It's hard because everybody, especially now with the market the way it is, if you're talking to a dealer, you're talking to a collector, it's like they're on the opposite side of the spectrum right now. And the dealers are going to say one thing and the collectors are going to say something totally opposite. So it's like getting the truth is a little bit hard.
Yeah. Well, because they're always going to speak optimistically about things. Like no one is going to admit to being like, I sold 0 comics at the show. So you have to like figure out a way to ask them that gives them an out or sets them up for, a good response.
So JSS Brooklyn has a question that maybe you can answer. I certainly don't have any answers about PSA and CBCS with the whole lawsuit. Do you have any new update for us that you could share or no?
I don't think there is any update, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think so either. The last I heard was from you and from Neo about the last instances that we got, but that's it. Like I said, I'm sorry for the beginning of this video getting a little bit too out of control. That's my fault for anybody who has stuck around. But the point of this video is that I want people to be able to talk without shouting at one another, without calling each other names, and voice their disagreements in a respectful way. I thought maybe we could do that, but
as a viewer, for me, I don't feel like it got too out of hand. I mean, I thought it was kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know. I think it's how people talk past each other is a big thing, I think, in the comic hobby. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I asked for it myself, but MJ, your history with the goose, did it make you feel uncomfortable being here? I think it did a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, definitely 100%. That's the first time I've spoken to Daniel since I interviewed him. Like, I've messaged him when he left just to say, I hope, the wish you the best. I hope you don't stop collecting comic books, because just some comments on YouTube shouldn't really do that to you. But that was the first time I've spoken to him for months.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I wish that we could all just talk and air it out without losing our minds. But I get it. I didn't even realize Darth Lopez left.
He said he had a phone call that he had to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anybody else want to talk about anything market related or comic related or YouTube content related? Because I like hearing about that stuff because I'm trying to get better at what I'm doing here.
I've got a suggestion.
I'm curious to hear about. Oh, good.
MJ, you go first.
I was thinking that Mickey would be great to direct the Stan Lee documentary.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's a whole other
conversation
and topic. Like, I mean, I don't know how much you guys have dived into that story, but I definitely think he is really fumbling it in terms of his
Participation.
Kickstarter and
Right.
his responses to his Kickstarter and stuff. Because I've seen him do some damage control about the optics around it, and I completely understand. Like a lot of people are accusing him, like, you had all this footage, why did you sit on it for so long? Like, and there's totally a story behind that as to why, and that's all well and good, but he's done a really poor job responding to his backers, and it's like Kickstarter 101 stuff that he's really messing up, and I just don't think he gets it, and that makes me personally, if I was going to support that film, I kind of feel like I'm like you're lacking a little EQ with this whole thing that makes me question whether you can actually tell the story even though you lived it. So
for me, I wouldn't want to. I mean, I saw all the snippets about it, and it made me sick. I don't know how anyone could sit there and do that stuff without getting insanely aggravated at what went on. So, but you had a question before MJ went. What was it?
Oh, I was just gonna ask. Like, I'm curious to hear what MJ and Razor's kind of comic YouTube journeys have been like in the last, I guess, as you had your channel, maybe now over the last year. Like, what are you guys feeling in your growth and your how your content evolves or what you want to do? And I don't know, just curious to hear about you guys.
Do you want to go first, Razor? Oh, do you want to go first?
No, you go first, bro.
I think my channel over the last year, like with doing the interviews, I've really enjoyed it, and I think that I've got to know more people in the community because, like, obviously I'm a British channel, like, so it's a lot more difficult for me to, get into the US community. So I think I've had like well over this last year. I've had more subscribers over this last year than I've had over the 3 years prior. So I think it's heading in the right direction, and it's just hard to try and keep on, like Swag said, about some days you don't feel like doing a video, but you have to try and push something out to keep being consistent. I think I'll find that the hardest thing because I have like a full-time job, I have a family, and I do other stuff on the side. So it's difficult, but I'm enjoying it. It's just a long journey.
I have two questions before we let Razor go,
Okay.
and it's for everybody here. And one is that, how do you judge success? Is it by subs? Is it by views? Is it a combination? And my other question was, I forgot what the second question is, but
Who's smoking here, Lawrence? You or me, bro?
I'm just getting old.
I think it depends on what you want to accomplish, Lawrence. Like, if your goal is to be, like PewDiePie, like, then views are the only thing that matters. Like, if you genuinely are like, I want to be like a YouTuber that can like survive by getting a check from Google, like, then yeah, you better worry about views. But if you have other aspirations, like, if you're, say, a comic book dealer and you just need a little bit of like a marketing resource, to bring people over to your store, then you don't have to have like 1 million subscribers to be successful in that sense. So I think it just depends, right? What you want to accomplish.
I think it's like what you put out there. You want engagement in terms of you want to make people aware of something. Like Swag puts out great informational videos on current events. And so it's not necessarily about the views, although views are good. It's that like Instagram message of someone messaging me saying, "Oh, I watched your video, it was great." I'll take that over 1,000 views. That one single comment over 1,000 views.
So Razor, I'll let you go, and then I remember my question.
Ask your question before you forget it again, bro.
I was going to ask, how do you guys come up with your content ideas? Like, for me, if I think of something, and then I just try to run with it.
Well, you know what? Let me go first now. God dang it. Well, first off, my comic book journey is a little bit different, and my goals and my success, it's based off what I'm doing. I'm not really measuring goals, success, growth of my channel. I'm having fun. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to measure my success and how much fun that I'm having. And I'm hoping that eventually just doing what I'm doing, being me, putting together a late night show for the comic book community, being funny, which is what my goal is to on my channel. I started off doing rants and being a very angry individual, interjecting some humor. But before that, I was a guy that was real funny, showing off haul videos. And then I let a lot of things kind of get to me. Ever since I kind of disconnected from what I call the comic book community award people, I've been more happier than ever. I've actually met a lot of people in the community. Stephanie, Madam Blaster, hanging out. We're drinking mimosas with their pinkies out on the deck. You know, we're flying down and we're hanging out, having a Mexican restaurant. Lawrence from Mighty Comics is sending me packages. So it's been an amazing ride. I'm actually enjoying being a YouTuber because this is what I was hoping would happen. Not the hate, not the, oh, you suck. I was hoping that people would get what I was doing and enjoy what I'm doing. So that's how I'm measuring success, by just me being me, and hopefully people will gravitate. They'll see what I'm doing is fun. What I'm trying to do is bring a Saturday Night Live vibe to the comic book community, a late night sketch, funny show that looks at the comic book community, the YouTubers like Swaggo, like MJ, like yourself, and I will make fun of what I see. I think, hey, Swaggo with the microphone, when he was on, it was kind of low and he was doing this and this. And so I thought that was funny. I will make fun of that. It's just comedic purposes. It's not like I don't like Swaggo or I don't like MJ or I don't like these individuals. It's me just looking at my community from the Saturday Night Live perspective, like they would look at Trump and everything that's going on in their world. And here I am putting a show on, and I hope you guys enjoy and stop by Saturday night.
So my question to the three of you is that, does it bother you when you put out a good video and you have subpar views, especially Mickey? I want to hear this from you because you are the biggest of all of us and you get a lot of views on your stuff. Does it, when you put out something that you think you work really hard on, does it bother you if it doesn't get the views that you're hoping for?
Yeah, it feels bad if you get 10 out of 10. You know, YouTubers know what that means. If you guys don't know in the chat, like when you get your video, it'll tell you of the last 10 videos, like where yours ranks in terms of performance. So if you get a 10 out of 10, meaning it's the 10th lowest viewed video of your last 10, yeah, it feels bad, you know? So
so 10 out of 10 is not good.
Go ahead.
10 out of 10 is not good.
No, go into, if you use YouTube's, if you use YouTube Studio, you'll see, I don't know if you use it, it'll tell you where you're ranked over your last 10 videos. And if it's 10, it's not good.
Oh, I thought like I'm nailing it. 10 out of 10.
No. No. You want 1 out of 10. You get a little firework and the dopamine hits real high. You know, but yeah, you definitely, you want to know that people like value what you're putting out there. Right. So like, I mean, maybe that's like a terrible way. Like, sure, I want views and all that type of stuff, but I think I don't stress too hard about like being on the treadmill to chase a maximum amount of views, because like, one, I just think that if you're chasing views, it's going to start to inform like how you are going to do your content. And then you're playing an algorithm, you know, as opposed to like just focusing on like what you're interested in, what you want to talk about, and having faith that if you do it in the way that you like it, other people will like it too. So I don't try to worry too much about it, but yeah, you want views, and I just want to know that it's growing a little bit and people appreciate it. That's my bar.
You know, Lawrence wanted to crack his joke. Lawrence was like, Razor doesn't get on the treadmill at all.
No, I'm not going to say that even if I think it. That's the next thing. Unless you were here sitting next to me, and then I would say it to you, 100%.
You're ready for it.
I will say, Lawrence, it has shaped my like. And this is a bad thing. You mentioned, I think earlier in the show, you're like, oh, I'm working on this thing for like your subscribers, and you're working on this documentary, you called it. And I was like to me, like putting in like massive resources for one, going for a Grand Slam video, like I honestly, I don't really do those anymore because of the fact that, yeah, it might just flop. And so it's like the energy to reward scale is something that I do think about, with the exception of like, if I go to San Diego Comic-Con, like obviously I'm going to do something a little more interesting because I want to, but yeah.
When you got that flamethrower out, that was a bit of extra effort, was it?
Well, that's for like my comic book that I wrote. That's like a real project. That's like, I'm willing to go all out for that, you know?
So that's the thing. If something's important to you, you're going to put as much effort into it as possible. But it's funny because I know that you're a director, and that's something I've always wanted to do in my life. And I've gone to a little bit of film school when I was younger. And I've always wanted to make a short film. I've actually written a full-length film myself, but that's something I've always wanted to do. So like I did like a short documentary about me buying a book that's only for my members that's been out there like a year already. But I enjoy doing like film stuff like that. I want to take it to the next level. So at some point I may pick your brain about that, but that's the only reason I do it is because I'm a guy who likes to do that stuff.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about that stuff. Or I'm happy to talk to like other channels and everything about this. I just don't, because like my base assumption is that nobody wants to hear about that stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
the
really opposite. I want to know how everybody's doing what they're doing. Like even Tom, like I reached out to Tom a couple of times. I haven't heard back. MJ knows because me and you have talked about it. Like at one point I was doing the Hot 10 Comics of the Week breakdown every week and I stopped doing that, but I wanted to reach out to him to say, you know, a couple of things, pick his brain, get, you know, maybe I could hop on with him there since we both did it at one time. It'd be a fun, like one-time thing, but I didn't hear back. But I think it's important for people who do the YouTube thing and who are trying to put out good content that we kind of like. Nobody helped me. I said this earlier in the show. Nobody helped me. I've had to learn on my own over 5 years. So I think it would help some of the smaller guys out there saying, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? I just think it's important to have in the community.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, that's cool. I didn't know that you were into film. That's actually really awesome. I actually think that you having a YouTube channel like this puts you in a better situation than like 80% of people that are like already trying to pursue any film aspirations. I'm like, this is it, man. Like this is the new like film, TV, entertainment.
Yeah. I just wish I had like a crew, like a cameraman. I'd be a lot better if I'm not just filming myself all the time, trying to get certain shots, trying to get the mic to work properly. If I had a guy holding a boom mic or whatever, it'd be a lot smoother for me. But all the shit that goes on behind the scenes that nobody sees, it's like, oh.
Yeah, I know. That stuff makes me like when I film, I literally do it with my iPhone and like a crappy mic that's plugged into it. And because one of the things I told myself is like, this is not a production. Like when I started my channel, I was like, I'm not doing any of that stuff. I already do it. Like this has to be like just the least amount of effort sounds bad, but like just the least amount of like extra bandwidth that I can make it.
Well, you've already just admitted
being good.
You've already just admitted earlier, Swag, where you said about you were listening in because you were, what was it, vacuuming, but you were really getting your hair and makeup done before you jumped onto the show.
That's true. Look, I got a little alfalfa thing going on right there.
Hey man, at least you got hair. You don't complain.
Dude,
I didn't know
like,
old Lawrence. Too fair.
One of my big mistakes is like I'm always I talk to Automatic and Ryan and Drew and stuff, and they always wear hats in their videos, and I'm like, dude, man, like I've never worn a hat, and I feel like now if I wear a hat, people are gonna be like, yo, you're wearing a hat, and it's like now I have to fix my hair every video. It sucks.
Ryan's definitely got to have hair though. I see the hair coming out the sides. He's got to be fine with hair. Yeah,
he's got hair, but he's got that REI vibe going for him. So
any other secrets? I know I don't want to keep you here on a Sunday. I know you probably got a million things, but any other secrets or anything that help anybody out there who's either thinking of starting a YouTube channel or even comic stuff? Like I promise we talk about that, and I'm going to stay on till 4, no matter who's here, to address some of the comic book questions that we've had. But any other things that you want to mention to may help someone out there? Anybody?
Is there a certain time that you drop videos, Swag? Is there a schedule that you keep? As hashtags that you always include?
So I think early on having a schedule is really important. I think now I don't adhere to it as much anymore now because I just don't stress about it. It's like what MJ was saying. It's like because I have like work outside, and it's like sometimes I just can't do it. But I don't let that like stress me out. That's like, oh no, I don't like the video's not going to come out at 11. Like whatever, I'll put it out at 3 p.m. Like who cares? Like that's my attitude. And maybe it hurts me, maybe it doesn't, but I just don't let it affect me. But I think when you're starting, you should have the schedule because you got to like build in a routine. You got to build in an audience, and you are rewarded like with consistency. Like if you're putting out, every other day or whatever it is, or you do a few like people get in the habit of like watching you and it becomes a part of that viewer's routine. So if you can build a routine for them, then they watch you. At least that's what I think that happens. Let me think. Other tips. I mean, how you frame something is so important. A lot of people will say this in YouTube. It's like sometimes they'll think of a thumbnail before they even think of a video, and so framing is like really key. Because it makes a big difference. The thumbnail is huge. It's like such a big difference. So learn Canva. Go to canva.com and start using.
I'm trying. I barely learned how to do the dang shadow on the the white outline.
Canva makes your life easier. Like it's really a great free program.
It is.
Dude, before I address the comment, I want to touch on something you just said. Dude, you know how many programs I've gone through having to learn myself? Start off with iMovie, Final Cut Pro, GIMP for pictures and thumbnails and stuff like that. With the CapCut, dude, I've had to learn so many things on my own just to be able to put out stuff. It's crazy, but Triple G makes a good statement, and it says hard not to compare your content to other channels and not get frustrated if their vids are doing better than yours, particularly if you think your video is better. And that's a thing I run across all the time is like, I think I put out stuff that gives me no views that whatever. I'm like, oh my God, this is such a good watch. This is such a good video. I'm like, this is going to do great. And then all of a sudden somebody does something similar and they get freaking so many views, but I'm like, oh, mine looks and sounds so much better, but it's not getting people's attention. So it's very, very frustrating.
You're not as good looking as MJ is what happens.
Yeah. I don't even need to be on screen.
MJ's got the halo effect going for him. It's unfair.
I've got the what? Sorry.
The halo effect.
The
looks, the halo, the glow, the glow. Yeah, it is. I mean, I totally agree with Triple G. It is hard, but it's so mental. Everything in life, it's all a mental battle. So like you just have to tune out the noise and just keep making. That's it.
But in terms of talking about like a thumbnail, what Peter from Triple G Comics was just saying is shout out to Pete. He's from the UK as well. Big fan of his. Is that your video might necessarily be better, but it could be the thumbnail or the description that puts the other video out there. And I always find it really crazy, like when a video takes off not on my channel, but on a different channel, and it's literally, there's no thumbnail. It's just a picture of within the video. There's no title on the thumbnail. There's literally nothing. And there's hardly any description in it. And you just think, well, how is YouTube putting that out there? It's crazy because it needs that metadata from the video. I know you get it from the transcript in terms of the actual what's said in the video, but it's crazy that some videos out there that do that.
It's weird because I've tried to recreate other viral videos, YouTube thumbnail, like to a T. I've tried to recreate it with myself on a certain video, and it's not even close. Like I can't get anywhere near the kind of traction that those videos get. So I don't know what the measuring factor is for a video going crazy, but
do you find that those ones are ones that are already like from big channels and stuff? Like
it doesn't have to be a channel that I know of. Like I wouldn't use a Mr. Beast one because whatever, but I would use something like just if I saw if something had like 100,000 views, like, oh, that's a really interesting thumbnail. I'm going to try to recreate it for something that I'm doing. And it's totally not even close to being the same.
Oh yeah. If you have like a Freddy Flips, like thumbnail, and it's just like the arrow in the garage that says paid what?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, when I do that, it doesn't get that same thing. It's like, I think that's because that's probably his audience already, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that with the arrow because I put out a Masters of the Universe video like a month ago, and it's my biggest video ever, and it had that arrow pointing over. So I'm wondering if that is like an
arrow. The bigger the arrow, the bigger the views. That's like YouTube 101 right there.
MJ, we should have knew this a long time ago. MJ, we add arrows to our dang videos, bro.
Yeah.
I think it's because my arrow is not as big as yours, but also.
So here's a guy that definitely needs to get on.
My arrow's not as big as Mighty's. We've determined that in the last live stream that we had.
So there's a guy definitely needs to get on YouTube, 100%. Even if not just for the more lives, to be on everybody's lives, 100%. Breaking news left and right.
I genuinely think that if Manu did a YouTube channel, it would get a lot of subs and views very quickly. I think
100%. But there's
Like,
another
can you
question I
imagine-
had that was good, but
You know his Instagram posts. Imagine that but
forgot
in
it
video
again.
format. That'll be incredible.
his
Yeah,
Instagram's got to
the
be huge.
design
He's
is
got to
great.
have crazy followers on Instagram. I mean, as compared to YouTube, I don't know.
But it's like breaking news, though, isn't it? It's like I said about it's like catching the zeitgeist, but you can't catch the zeitgeist with Manu because he's the person who's discovered it. It's like he's great. Got a lot of respect for him.
I want to know what that
And then-
electricity bill looks like when when Lawrence's arcade system is fully functional and he has them all turned on. That's got to be insane. How many arcades do you have set up back there? I'm gonna say, don't tell
There's
us
just-
yet. 13.
No, there's only 2. There's only the 2 you see.
Turn
were
them
you gonna
on,
say?
man.
I forgot.
Forgot
And
to.
I
Yeah,
do that
see,
a lot,
I had
right?
something,
I do that a
something
lot.
that I lost it. I feel like you had another question though.
I did. It was a good one too. But
I messed it up.
like I said, yeah, it just slipped my mind. So I mean, comics wise, like I asked these guys before if they're buying anything. I haven't seen you do a haul in quite some time. Is there anything? I know you got that big Captain America. Is there anything that you've been eyeing, or have you let anything go? Like people are downsizing still.
I bought some books. I went to Red Hood, the dealer's store.
I saw that video. Yeah,
bought some books from him. I bought some more original art actually. That it's hard because it's like it's not really a video that I can figure. I want to show it just because well, honestly for tax purposes, but like I can't really figure out like what the right video would be for that because not everyone's going to be into it. So I'm just kind of sitting on that for a bit. I totally will. I'm probably like you, Lawrence, was like, I'll buy anything if I see it being sold for cheap.
yeah.
Like I'll buy anything, but that's the hard part is finding it for cheap.
That's the thing now. And I started off this whole YouTube video talking about like people buying stuff. And like, once you get to a certain point, if you're not getting a great deal on it, especially in this market, most people are just staying away. I mean, I was at a LeakCon, people were buying books, but it's just, especially on Instagram, I said this also earlier, that it's just like a freaking war. If they're not getting ridiculous deals, and I told all these guys, all the Instagram consignment pages, the big ones, if the people aren't getting real big deals, nobody's buying because everything is just too available.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, and that was my kind of feeling with even when first talking about like some of the dealers and stuff. Like it's kind of surprising to me when I talk to some of them how I genuinely think that they don't realize how available things are. Like to them, it's like, hey, I have this AF-15. And they think that theirs is special and like, yeah, they can strong arm you to buy theirs. It's like, dude, there's so many options. And I don't think that they realize that.
No. Anybody gone to any shows lately that they've had better success finding deals, or have nobody gone to show? I've already been to 2 shows this year already, and my 3rd is supposed to be next week. So I'm anxious to see the deals that could be had.
I haven't been to a show this year, I don't think, so far. So I'm out of that question.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I haven't been to one. I haven't been to one this year yet.
Does that say anything?
No, because I'll go. I will go. But the best deals I find are at the LCS. That's just my own. That's where I have the best luck. Yeah, I feel like. I don't know if that's true depends on where you live, I think, really. But for me, that's been the most successful places I've found stuff.
That's always been the thing for me.
The feedback I heard about Elite Expo was that they weren't like con prices. They were like literally what the prices are like on the Instagram posts. So it's like really good feedback. Because I had a guy from the UK go across there, Ilson_comics. He said it was really good.
I did tell him that you said hello, by the way. I don't know if he said that to you.
Oh, no, he didn't know. He has literally just messaged me about 5 minutes ago, but yeah. What did he say?
I went up to him. I said, "Oh, MJ says hello. He wanted me to stop you and say hello if I saw you." And he said, "Oh, okay, whatever." So
Whatever.
Not whatever, but you know what I mean. He said like, oh, wow, that's awesome, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember exactly what he said, but I do remember telling him.
Oh, thank you.
But the one thing about Elite, I enjoyed going there and I enjoyed seeing everybody. That was my biggest thing. The books were the same as I always see, because I'm always on Instagram looking and stuff. I always see what things are going for. So like, I wasn't shocked by that. The one thing I will say, I would like to see next time them open it up to a few more dealers that not everybody has been privy to, because everybody's already been privy to these guys on Elite. So I like to see them do the opposite next year and find dealers who are willing to give prices at the same, same aspect, but people that we haven't seen before. That's just my opinion. Other than that, it was a blast.
Can I ask a question, if you don't mind, Lawrence?
Go.
Okay.
You guys are being quiet, so go ahead.
For Mickey from Swaggle House, if that's okay. I'm interested. I asked the same question to Lawrence. I've asked it to Brian McClay from Beyond Wednesdays. I'm even interested to hear from MJ, and I think I might know the answer already. But do you, because you mentioned you get good deals from your LCS, your local comic book shop, you go there, you find the best deals there. Do you participate in New Comic Book Day? Do you go to your LCS on Wednesdays to pick up new books?
Occasionally, yes. I'd probably say like once a month. So I don't have like a pull list or anything, but there are new titles that I want to read. But I have to be like really excited about it. And specifically, it's like writers that I really like. So I'm always going to read anything that Ed Brubaker puts out. So I'll go to LCSs to read new stuff. But yeah, I don't really cover it ever on my channel.
Got it. That's very interesting. And I'm sorry, Lawrence.
No. I'm going to say I'm the same way. Like I don't go every week. I don't go every Wednesday. I can't drive over there. They're a half hour from me, but I'll go when I want to get something. So like I'm friendly with them. So I'll say, hey, listen, this is coming out today. Can you hold me a copy? And they'll be like, yeah, no problem. So I don't have a pull list either, but I will say my LCS is very good about having back issues. When I say back issues, I'm talking about wall books. So like they're consistently getting in new wall books. So if like you're looking for something specific, you may just walk in there and find it one day. They do a lot of posting to Instagram as well. So, and they'll mail books if somebody wants to buy something over thing and then ship it out to you as long as you pay the shipping. But like that to me, and we can get into this topic if you guys want. I don't know who can stick around, who can't, but like that's what makes a good LCS to me is like you can have new books, you can have some back issues, but if you have those two and then all of a sudden you have a constant influx of new wall books, like you're drawing people in. Like I got to get there every week to see what they got. That to me is huge. And then you add on like, you got toys, you got all the other little collectible things that Pokemon is a big thing there. So like, do you guys have that by you?
Yeah, well, to Razor's point, so I only go in maybe once a month for new comic books, but there are LCSs that I will go to their store once a week because to Lawrence's point, they constantly get in new back issues and keys and stuff. So I'm always willing to visit them. But yes, Lawrence, yeah, there's a few stores that like that.
You too? I mean, I don't know what kind of stuff you have in the UK, MJ, but like I know you've done some comic shop reviews and you've gone to places in your videos, but do you have enough to say like, do people always get like new wall books in? They're like every couple of weeks, every month, like there's new stuff available?
So locally for me, there's not really a lot of choice. I have to, like my comic shop review videos or promo videos for them, they're all like really quite far away. So it's like, an hour or two away. But there's one shop that I go back to that don't predominantly sell comics. They do like a load of like retro games and toys and etc. But they have like a wall selection. But to be honest, it's pretty much the same since it first started. I think I'm probably maybe one of the only people who goes there and buys comics, maybe. But yeah, I'm not New Comic Book Day. I don't read modern comics.
Really?
No, not for me. I stopped reading probably about, I don't know, 2021, maybe 2020. But wow. the only modern stuff that I've read is Crashdown. But I'd be looking at the back of Mickey's wall there. I'll be interested in reading Sanity. I prefer the more independent stuff in that case.
I tried to go to New York to get your book when you were there last year. Or was it the year before? I forget it, but I couldn't even get to see you. Like I know at one point I messaged you and said I'm sorry I missed you again this year, but like you only had like a certain time for me to get there, and I'm like, I think I left early this year.
I'll send you guys my book if you guys want to read it.
I definitely want to read it.
I like how you burned everything. That was the best promo video ever, bro. When you came out with the, do you own that flamethrower or did you have to rent? How did you get a hold of the flamethrower? That's what I'm thinking.
CGI.
You just know a guy, you just know a flamethrower guy. That's it. Just everyone should know a flamethrower guy. Yeah. No, it was just like a guy who that's what he does. He does like movie pyro, so it's like you just called him up to do it. But yeah, I got to do another one of those. Because I fulfilled my last Kickstarter for the last couple. And then like, I wanted to add my remaining copies to like my online store, but obviously I kind of feel like I need to make a commercial. So I've just been kind of dragging my feet a little bit. I need to make one and get it out there.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, the reason why I ask, and if I could just circle back quickly, is what I've noticed, and the reason why I like to ask these questions when I get a chance to interact with fellow YouTubers who produce content, is the majority of, I would say, in my opinion, who I consider major collectors, they stay away from New Comic Book Day because it's hundreds of dollars or however much that you're spending on variant covers. And I've told that, hey, for the most part, I don't want to spend money on variant covers where I can take that, put it into other places for budget for other comic book purchases. So it's always interesting for me to hear when I ask that question, the majority who I consider major collectors stay away or shy away from New Comic Book Day. Maybe not totally, but they're not going who I consider Wednesday warriors every day with pull lists. That's what I've noticed. I'm not sure if you guys noticed that, but to me, it seems like the major collectors, they're not New Comic Book Day guys.
I think that if you want to read new books, go buy new books. I just don't think you need to overdo it at a certain point. If you could be both, like I'm a vintage collector, there's no question. Like I like collecting, and I've said this a million times, collecting the history of comics, the important characters that I grew up with. I think a lot of collectors like that, if they've been influenced by a character, they want that first appearance, they want the key issues. So there's a difference between collectors and readers, but that doesn't mean that you can't be both. Collect and then go pick up 2 or 3 issues that you want to read a week. I don't see that being an issue. At the end of the day, you spend $20 a week. I don't think that's a big deal.
Right.
Yeah. I'm the Butcher 105 has said just wait for the omnibuses, but I'm kind of like with new like Ultimate Spider-Man that the first 12 issues have come out or whatever. I'll happily just wait to read that in trade paperback or an omnibus.
But the trade paperback, like one of the first, I don't remember any issues. Like the first trade paperback already came out. So like you could, if you missed like the first whatever issues, you could just, my LCS has it. You go pick it up and read that. And then after that, if you want, you can continue reading the single issues. Yes, you got it. Say, yeah. So
that's exactly how I do it. Perfect, Lawrence. Yep.
Yeah, the trade paperback is too good to read. Like,
yeah.
It's
I was going to say, what issue number 1 goes for how much? Like, this is like $10. You get the first 6 issues, is it? Yeah.
The problem is that if you hear something good, then you feel like you missed out, and then all of a sudden you got to go back and pay up for the bigger issue.
Yeah.
Like if like I missed out on Ultimate Spider-Man the first couple issues, so like I was like I'll wait, and then people are telling me, oh, this is so good. I'm like, all right. Then I ended up going back and buying the trade paperback just for that reason. But most people can't wait. They want to go, they'll pay up for that issue because they missed it the first time around. Same feeling for these con exclusives. If you didn't go to the con and get one at a decent price, you're paying crazy amounts on eBay or whatnot, or whatever you use. It's the same type of thing. And that's where people, I think, need to refrain from doing that type of stuff.
Yeah. So I have a, oh, no, I can't say it. I can't say it.
Have you got a trade paperback coming out for yours? Or?
This is the video to say it.
Right.
Well, let me say it like this. I think that, I would love to read more new comics, but to what some of you guys said, it's too expensive. It's too expensive to follow along and to read all this new stuff. Especially since you don't really know what you're getting. Like maybe it's going to be good. Chances are it's probably not going to be very good. So that's why it's like, it's like, certain writers like Ed Brubaker. Okay, I'm going to read this thing. Like if James Tynion has like a indie comic, I'm probably going to read it, or Charles Soule, I'm probably going to read it. Like those are like 3 writers that I enjoy their work. But like, outside of that, yeah, it's too hard. So in a lot of ways, I kind of feel like publishers almost like need to figure out a way to make their comics free, and have faith that if people read it, they'll buy it after. Like, so
I think
I don't know what that it looks like, but you gotta somehow they gotta make stuff free. And I have ideas. I have thoughts. I'm working.
So I would think it would totally, they would stop putting out a lot of books right there, because they know they're not going to get people buy or reading certain books, and they'd probably scale everything down. That's what I think needs to happen anyway, is if they scaled everything down, it'd be a lot better.
But I wonder if there's a world where, like, kind of like music, it's like, you can still listen to like a new song for free, but like you'll still buy it if you want it. I kind of think that if someone can sample a story, or they're just free, like, I don't know, maybe all comics should be free digitally, period. And then you'll still just buy it. If you want to own the thing, you'll go to, I don't know. I mean,
how about a preview? How about like a service where you can, how about if you could like preview 3 books a week digitally, and they'll give you those 3. And then after that, you could decide if you want to go further or whatnot. Like, does that sound like a good idea? They're going to allow you to preview 3 online for free. And once you're done with that, you could decide what you want to do.
Kind of like a dope deal.
What if it was free? What if it was just genuinely free?
But
like, would they really
LCSs do that?
Would they really lose that much money in digital sales if you went to Marvel Unlimited and it was free for everyone and everything could be read for free?
But would that kill the LCS?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think the people that want it still just want it. Like, how many people are buying floppies to read?
I think a lot. I mean, I'm only going from my experience. Every time I go into my LCS, it's packed. It's packed with people reading new comics. Like, there's some guys out there digging through bins. More people looking at Pokemon now than ever. But there are a ton of people in there just scouring the wall to see what they want to read. Like, and maybe that's not normal, and maybe I'm just spoiled because I'm in there all the time and that's what I see. And it could be because they've been around forever, so they have good, rapport.
Well, and to Butch's point, it's free. Just got to know where to go. Like, that's the other thing too. It is free. Like, people can just read them free already. So like, why wouldn't Marvel just want people in their own like ecosystem? It's like you're letting people just go off into like the pirate sites. Like, just have them make a Marvel Unlimited account and just give it to them for free over there, and then you can sell them stuff on the back end and other things. I don't know.
Mickey, are you talking about Marvel Unlimited being free as well? Like, not paying a subscription fee for that, or?
Well, maybe I think it's about the new comic book day books, right? Because on the Marvel subscription, you can't read the new ones right off the bat. There's like a 3 months, but you can go to other websites to read the new comic book day.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I just wonder what that would look like if you can, because what you need is people to just read the stories. There's not a lot of people that are just reading it, and I'm willing to bet that if people read, they'd be willing to buy it if they're interested,
right,
in collecting it.
I very unfortunately I have to go and put my son to bed, so I'm gonna politely disappear into the ether. But I really appreciate the invite, Lawrence. Really appreciate it. Mickey, always great to talk to you, and Razor, it was great to be on stream with you as well, buddy.
Thank you for being calm earlier.
That's okay. I think I was in shock. To be fair, I did not know what I'd walked into. It was just crazy. But no, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for popping in, bud.
I'm actually going live in like an hour. So
okay.
But I'll see you guys later.
All right, thank you.
See you later.
Yeah, I'm gonna end this. Again, I'm gonna end this thing shortly. Anyway, man, thank you for joining and popping in, man. I really appreciate it. And I'm gonna send you a message about that book. I'll pay you. I have no problem paying you, but I definitely want to check it out. I was hoping to see you in person to get it, but it's hard when we're on the opposite sides of the country.
I'm gonna go out to New York again this year, so I'll see you there, hopefully.
All right, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
See you, Razor. Bye.
I'm gonna head out too, brother. So you can end your show your way. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Thanks for popping on. You too. Take care, bud. All right. So you heard from everybody in this community. One of the most prominent and great YouTubers in the community, Mickey over at Swaggle. We got MJ, probably the most endearing comic book YouTuber out there. We have Razor, with all the great things that he's doing, whether you like some of the early stuff or not. And, he's trying to get back to comics and the things that he likes. So again, like I said earlier in this video, guys, it's hard when you're doing this on your own. Helping people and helping others in this community is a good thing. If you just want to give them a little bit of help, I think you'll see them blossom. And of course, the earlier stuff, I didn't think it was going to get out of control, but yes, I did want the smoke. There's 100% truth in that. I wanted people to come on and air their dirty laundry. I just didn't want them to go at each other in a disrespectful way. I just wanted them to say, what's wrong with everything in comics, comic YouTube, stuff like that. So again, I appreciate all you guys for sticking with me for the past 2 hours. This was a lot of fun. Once we got past the name calling, there's a lot of great insight, whether it be comics, comic book content, comic book YouTube, or just the people who are on the stream in general, right? They're all good dudes. I don't believe that even, Sticky is a bad dude. I think that he got himself mixed up, and then it's hard to get out of there. I think that if both of those guys would just let it be and leave each other alone and go on with their day, you'd see better things come out of the situation and everybody in this community. So with that said, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have a great Sunday, and look for a couple of great videos this week. I have a Real Hot Temp coming out tomorrow, believe it or not, a day early, and then later in the week we'll figure out something else. So again, thank you guys. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics Collectibles, and thank you for watching. Happy collecting, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher. So let's jump right into it. We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review.